Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to continue building this door handle slider. In the previous tutorial, we set up the slider with the two handles. Today we're going to add some attributes to the slider. We're going to implement values change while we move the handles for the slider. So before we do, we're going to make some little adjustment to the slider from our previous tutorial. There was a little error on one of the files. So let's quickly do that now. We go to app, go to slider, right there. So you realize here we have the variable main instead of mean. So we're gonna this in. All right, that's just about the correction to the error. Now we're gonna start from the slider controller and import our hooks we're gonna be using. So come over here and import all the hooks that we're gonna use. State contest ref and create test. So now contest const slider contest was to create. All right. There. Well, we might as well create all the variables here. Create our state variable here. The const value to hold our main value that will be equals to in structure and const in max equals to rest. You could see this min and max is passing from a slider controller. That was the reason why I pass in these variables, because I want to be able to put them down here. Go over here to slider control. So slider over here, you see why I pass in a variable slider control. Okay. Max the variable slider controller here, passing from the rest. Now we can be able to our max value, set max value, boost it. You can form one more variable, arrange equals to max. The reason why I have the plus sign in front of the variable is to convert the variable from a string to a number. It's almost similar to doing something like pass int max. This is the same thing, similar to just convert the variable from a string to a number, or from a string to an int out, so we can do any mathematical operation. Otherwise we might have very weird result So we're going to be subtracting string from a string or adding string. So this way we convert the variable to a number, so we don't have any uh, problem while we add or some values. All right, so now we need to destructure provider const provider equals to slider contest. All right. All right, so we can now a provider I'm supposed to wrap everything and then passing all the values. Need to make use of down having error here. Oh, maybe turn provide. Look at the provider, so we have. While we have an error, we'll put the provider. Provider. Okay. All right, the error is gone. So we need to have value plus 2. So we're going to pass all the values in here. In value, set in value, max value, set value, in max. All right. Now that's about all the variables that we. So we can take this same variable here, copy it, come to input. So we're gonna be doing a logic for section. The const is gonna be equals to use contest. So we're just gonna have slider contest, right? So now for the variable, we need to also bring in here and was to rest. Now because we only have one input here, so this input is actually 2 differentiated by the name. So if we're going to set the value, we need to know which of the input we're setting the values for. So for this, you could say we're going to set the value. Here, I'm going to just say value equal to, if the name equals to slider 1, then we need to set our values. Our value need to return value to in value, else turn max value. We use the ternary operator just to make sure that we're setting the values for the right. So if we go now just to make sure our values is showing properly, we're not going to be able to move any of the handles now because we didn't have the onChange method yet. So but we can see if our values are actually there just to make sure our values are there. All right, we have values 100, For the slider 2, we have value 0 for the slider 1. So that shows our values are there. Shows things are working. If we just want to show our values so that we don't keep going to inspection, we can actually show it here. Hang on, why can't we just show the value? Why can't we just show our values? Let's show the values. Slider. Let's say we decide to have a D here. That is D will have a B. I'll have a mean. To be our mean value. And then we have another P of max to our max value. Max value. Let's see if that shows the values. Okay. We have the value down here. It's okay. We just want to be able to see our values instead of we can see the values right here. Now that helps us for now. We can always change position on the values later by putting inside the container. If we put it over here for now, we decide to take this here, we're going to see the values come inside the box right there. That's what we're going to need later on. But for now, just going to leave it down here as we do our coding. Okay, so that way we're having on. Perfect. Now, let's move on. Now we need to be able to move this value here. We need to have the unchanged variable here. So to input here, I'm going to put the unchanged change is equals to just say handle change. All right. For the handle change, I come in here and write the const change equals to function that takes event prop, and then first of all we have to event default, and we say e dot target dot name if it's equal to slider 1, set mean value to e dot target value, else set oh, ternary operator in the question mark, else we set max value e dot target dot value. So now we should be able to move our slider handle and the value will change down there. I'll move it. Make sure value is not. Either target or name is also slider one set mid value value else set value set value the target of value. So let's see if we have any error. Body. We have value 0 value 100. Okay, that's correct so far. So on with our e.target.name. Okay, and we change e.target.name slider 1 set min value the target.value else set max value target.value. Okay, and we change. Okay, let's do this. Console log value. Right. So, all right, we have an error. Warning: unknown handler property unchanged to be ignored. Why on? Okay, we say value equals to on. Oh, E is missing. That's why we have a problem. On change. All right, it should work now. Here we have. Oh, it factored. Okay, error. Cannot read property of undefined value. That is fine. E dot target. The E dot tag. That's the problem. And there you go. Okay, now. All right. So now when we move the values, the handle can actually move the value down here. Move the value. But there's one problem. You can move the value of the maximum below the or can move the minimum above the maximum. We don't want that to happen. So how do we fix that? Come back here. We gotta use a special mathematical trick to say we want to set minimum, but also consider the maximum and set the minimum of the two. So this is what we're gonna use. We're gonna use a math method here to say math dot mean. So we're gonna set the minimum value between the e dot target dot value and I'm gonna cast the max value and the max value. In the same way, we're going to do this too. We're setting the minimum value. We're setting the maximum value. We're going to say mat.max. So, mathematical cost value. So once we do that, let's save the day. Our problem now. Okay, so there you go. Now you see that I no longer cross. Get to the max. In we stop. But there's still one problem. The last problem is the fact that we drag this to the end and we drag this on top. We'll be able to drag it back. We'll be able to drag it back, but if we go this direction and it gets stuck, we can drag it back. But one is sitting on top of the other. So what we need to do is we're gonna make sure that every time this minimum value passes the center of the slider towards the minimum, we're going to put it on top. Same way, anytime this minimum passes the center towards the maximum, we're going to put this handle on top. So how do we do that? Very easy. Then we're going to come here to say, we're just going to add a class that will automatically put the layer on top. So that class here, we're going to call it up. We're going to have a class called up. And every time the condition here is true, up will be added to the class. Let's see that. So here you have it. You see up right here. But if the condition is false, let's make the condition false. Condition is false. Up will be removed from the class. Now, so up is no longer there. Now so that's what we're gonna use to manipulate which of the handlers stays on top. So how do we do that? We already have the name. So why don't let us test something? Why don't let us say what we want to do is this test here, I want to call it test. This we either turn true or false based on the condition here. So say let test equals to name. Let test equals to, if the name is equal to slider 1, if this name is equal to slider 1, let's return a boolean of saying that the minimum is greater than 60%. The minimum, so an error here because this comment it out for now. Comment it. Input What is the problem now? Okay, we say let test. Okay. Okay, because we don't define test yet. Okay. Let test was to 0, was to true. Alright. For now, get rid of the error. Don't really need that. Anyway, so what we're trying to say is that return check if the minimum is greater than 60% of the length of the values of the basic values provided. If the minimum is greater than 60% of that, return true, else return false. So that we're going to do. So if we're dealing with slider 1, we need to return saying is slider 1 greater than 60% true or false? Else, this is not slider 1, therefore it's going to be slider 2. We're going to say is maximum less than 40% of the value of the max of the range we're giving. So that's the trick we're going to use. Let's get into that. Is so if this goes to slider 1, all we're saying is that x max value, let's cast it so we don't have a problem. No, not max value, mean value. I say some real estate here. Its mean value greater than, we're gonna say, is it greater than 60%? What is 60%? Is 60 over 100 divided by 100 times max multiplied by blocks. Else, if it's not slider 1, just return that mean value is less than 40%. 40 divided by 100 of plus max. So that solved the problem. That way now, when we start moving our slider, that should work. That shouldn't be a problem. Or we're having an error now. Type error 0.4 is not a function. What is basic? Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, we have to put our multiplication sign there. Okay, what's there? All right, so now what you do is you look at the section. You see now that we have up showing here for the maximum. Why is maximum showing up? Maximum is supposed to show up if you come all the way. That doesn't make sense. Minimum show up, minimum is right. Maximum is not right. Right. Let's see what is going on here. Minimum is right, maximum is wrong. Okay. If minimum in value is greater than this, return mean value x. Or return max value, not value. Return max value is less than 40% of that. So I think we have it now. Typo. Let's go back and take a look at that. So now if you look at it, you don't see no up here until I'm moving. Up shows up here. Let's pass 60%. Up shows. Let's go back up here. That coming this way. Up shows up here too. So now you can see that either way up will show up, right? So we don't have the click working yet, so we just have to working. So for now, don't want this video to be too long, so we're gonna bring this video to a close for now. The next challenge we're gonna be doing is the ability to click anywhere on the track, and then we move the Mimo or the Massimo handle. But for now, see that our slider is working and the value is changing, and we can move past the handle, and one handle can move past the other. And then even if we're at the edge, we can still pull our handle back, put this to the edge. Oh, let's not pull it back. Why not? This is what we need back. Let's fix that right away. Oh, the reason why it's not working is because we didn't fix our CSS for it yet. So let's quickly do that before video. Let's go to styles and go to input and quickly add this up class dot up. All we need to just do is the index. We just put it as 5. That should fix the problem. Now we're saying that it's going to have the up class and the index on top. We should be able to pull it back now, so it works. All right, thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next video, where we're going to be dealing with challenges of being able to click anywhere on the track and move the handles. All right, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.